Welcome. In this session, we will learn about inheritance. Inheritance is very important in object-oriented programming. So, we have a class named person here and we can inherit other classes from this person class. And to have inheritance, we need to have a is a relation. That is, we can have other classes like student, teacher, employee, and many more that are like student is a person, teacher is a person, employee is a person. So whatever we have, whenever we have a is a relationship, we can inherit those classes from this person class. So let's make another class, that is student. Now we have a student class, and how we can inherit it, we need to have two round brackets here, and inside these two round brackets we will write the name of that class from which this class will inherit. So I write person here. Now what we are saying by writing this is we have another class student and it inherits from this person class. So this student class already has all these things which are in person class. Now we need not to rewrite this, or we need not to duplicate this code. So that is the benefit of inheritance, that because we know that student can eat, student can also walk, student have a name, age, gender and height. These all things also belong to student as they belong to person. So student can have all these things in real life. When we think of that what student can have all these things because student is a person. So we have all these things already in this class student. This is very beneficial when we have big classes that we want to like reuse. We can simply inherit them in other classes. So I will go ahead and add a few other things in this student class, because this student class will have some specific things to student as well. So all of these things are already inside, but we can, on top of this, we can have other properties and functions. So what things that are specific to student we can have in this class? Like student can have a roll number. Student can have a roll number, like initially I will put it equal to, let's say, 0, because it will be an integer thing. Because as he is a student, he will be having a roll number that a person to a specific cannot have. So student can have a roll number because he is a student. Student can have marks. I will initially put it equal to 100, let's say default value. So student can have marks on top of what we have in person class that are only specific to student. Now these can be the properties, and we can have any number of properties and more properties here as we want. Now I can make a function here like student can attend class, student can take class. So I will have a function name take class. So this function is specific to student, that student can take class, that he can attend class. So what I will write in this body of this function, I will say taking class. So now we have one more function in this student class that is on top of these all other functions which we have there. So this class takes this takes class function. Now when we will make object of the student class, all of these things, I can access all these things which I have here in these both classes. So I will go ahead and make a object here like student with small s equal to student. Now we can provide all of these name, age, gender and height, because this constructor is in person class, but we have also this is available in student class. So what I can do here is I can write name. For example, I write Hamza. And what is the age? Age, I can say it will be an integer, so I can say 25. And then I can write like gender, male. After that, height, I can write like let's say 6. So we have a student named Hamza with age 25, gender male and height 6 feet. So now we can call these some functions on this, like writing the name of the object student dot. Now when I write a dot operator, as you can see, it shows me that what I can call on this object. I can call age, name, walk, eat, height, gender, and it is showing me all these functions and properties that are in person class. And on top of that, as you can see here, marks and roll number is also there. So these marks and roll number are in the student class, but they are not in person class. So I can also call these things here. So let's call some functions from this person class like eat. When I call this function eat, as it is in person class and it is also available in student, so it should call this function eat. So I will go ahead and run this. As you can see, it says eating. So I have this specific function in the student class. Now I can call this function take class, student dot take class. Now take class is in student class, so it should also call that. As you can see, it says taking class. So that is benefit of inheritance. I can call all these functions, all these properties and methods on the student class, but when I make a person class object, I can only call these things that are in person class. I cannot call these student related things in person class because student inherits from person. Person doesn't inherit from student. So in student I have these other things, but in person class I have only these things which I have already there. So in student class I can call all of these things. So this adds to this person class. I can have other classes like teacher, employee as well, depending upon our requirement that what system we are building there. So in this session we have learned about inheritance. That's all from this session.